Well, hello everybody, and happy Memorial Day weekend. Uh, I almost didn't schedule this thing because I know a lot of you folks are out celebrating the holiday, with all these months of cabin fever. Everybody's out doing their barbecues, going to the lakes, beaches, even to Walmart. Doing all kinds of things that you haven't been able to do because of this virus thing. But it is nice that people are able to get out and get some semblance of a normalcy. Uh, I have not decided yet if I'm going to do a Murtathon tomorrow because since it is a Sunday and right in the middle of this weekend, all you guys are probably out doing your thing. But we'll make a call on that. Are you awake yet? Welcome, Nan. Always good to hear from you. I hope things are going okay out in California. Rebecca, hello, welcome. Now, I did state on Twitter that I'm going to be writing a blog tomorrow, and it's on Stolen Valor. It appears that somebody might be engaging in stolen valor on Memorial Day weekend, of all things. Now, I'm not going to discuss exactly what's going on right now. I'm sure that some of you are aware of who and what I'm talking about, but I'm going to get into a little bit of the situation tomorrow. Because as I said, there are certain things and people that are not going to be discussed here. So I will leave that for tomorrow. And I may be doing a recorded video. If I don't come on the air tomorrow, what I'd like to do is get feedback from people if they want to see me on the air live tomorrow or not. But I might be doing some testing. Because as you know, the 26th, I'm going to be going to do a special feature. I'm going to be going live. Yeah, let me do that. I will get a link to the blog so you folks know where the blog is. What I do is for you folks that are on Twitter, I put the blog up on Twitter. The link to the blog on Twitter. So I always pin at least one article so that you folks know what it is. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the home page for the blog, and this way you can see the beginning of the blog, and you can go down through the articles, and that way you can see everything I've written so far. When I put the article up, which I'll work on sometime tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to do it because I have a rather full schedule tomorrow. Because I have a rather full week coming up. Now, Monday, I'll be preparing for the trip and for the coverage, and I will go through a blow-by-blow schedule on Monday, telling everybody exactly what this is all about. But generally what's going to happen is sometime on the 26th, I'm going to be going mobile. And depending on what I can do, it does not look like I'm going to reach my subscriber goal in time to go on YouTube. So I will probably go at least on Twitter and maybe on Facebook. I don't know. Now, Tuesday night, the 26th, I will be doing a combination of mobile and on location live streaming where I'm going to be at. Because I will have access to Wi-Fi over there. Tuesday, or Wednesday rather, is the big day, and that's when I'm gonna have to figure out. It's gonna be one of these things where it's kind of on the fly, because the event itself is out of my control, and you'll understand why when I get into the details. I'm just there to cover it. I don't know, anything can go wrong with these things. Things may go as planned for the 27th, or they may get delayed. If they get delayed, they may do this thing on the 28th, which, would be Thursday. And if I had planned on staying down there 2 days, 26th to the 27th, 27th to 28th. Now, if there's an extension of some kind, I could stay over until the 29th, but it's 95% sure that things are going to happen on the 27th. So we will see what we shall see. But after the quote-unquote main event, I may do a live stream late that night. And then the 28th, I'll be running around the East Coast, trying to do a Mobilethon live. We'll see how that turns out. That's going to be a complete on the fly, make things up as we go, and all that. Hi Kingfish, welcome. Looks like we have like a little bit of a tabletop audience tonight. That ought to please the haters to no end, but I don't care, because the advantage of the way I set this up is it gets recorded, so those folks that are out living life off the internet can always come back and they can watch what happened. And tonight is really no specific format. We're just gonna sit here. I'll watch the chat, and we can have a little back and forth. If there's any question and answers you want to do, we can do that. And of course, if you have any suggestions for what I can discuss for you folks, feel free to do so. Well, Nan, you have experience with what I'm going to be doing. Now, things have changed since way back in the Ustream days, because YouTube, for some unfathomable reason, wants you to have 1,000 subscribers before they will allow you to go mobile. And so I have to build up to at least 1,000 subscribers, and then I don't know if there's lag time to wait for YouTube to say, okay, you got your 1,000 people. It may take a day or two or a week or two for us to set it up so you can come in and do your mobile streams. So I might do it on Twitter through Periscope, and I may also try and do it through Facebook. Now, I have a room over there. I have actually two, but I got to do something about the one. But I've got From the Desk of Witness Live on Facebook. But I don't know if I can transmit from that room exclusively, or if it's going to go right into Facebook on my main account through Facebook Live, because that's how I would live stream. As a matter of fact, I've got to do a test either tomorrow or Monday and see how that's going to work. Well, it is silly. I have yet to get a straight answer from anybody as to why they do that. I know there's a lot of people that run YouTube channels that have 600, 700, 800 subscribers that are stuck doing mobile stuff live because of this YouTube policy. They instead do recorded videos, which is what I did with my Mobilethons. I would record the audio portion of the video while I'm driving to the airport, and then while I'm doing my thing, as a way to kill time, I would bring in the video portion of the production and then upload it to YouTube. And so that way, at least I was getting things up on YouTube. I did not know there was a shooting in Daytona Beach. There's been shootings all over the country. Some cook at a Waffle House got shot because he told the guy to put a mask on. There's all kinds of weird crap. And one thing we've had that I'm gonna check into it because it's a Florida case is we now have Casey Anthony version 2. Some woman down in Miami reported that her son was missing, claimed a black guy or somebody took the child, and so on and so forth. And it turns out that it is alleged that she killed the child, who is autistic. I know this is going to hit you hard, Nan, but the child was autistic. The woman killed the child, and now she is in jail. And I'm hearing some rather disturbing things about this woman and some of the things she's been saying since she was placed in custody. And I'm going to start checking into this a little bit more. And so I may be covering that case right along with Phil McConnell. I thought Casey Anthony was the last of these crazy mothers, but we have yet another one. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that. And if it follows the same pattern that Casey Anthony did, we may be covering this thing towards the end of the year. I'm going to have to look that up. I've been kind of watching the thing. It started popping up yesterday, and they had the mugshots and everything on local television, and I don't know if the national news has picked it up yet. But it's another one of these crazy Florida cases where they probably will. Because this lady, she's sitting there accusing people of these things, and where the hell is that name? What I can try to do, if I can figure out where my mouse is I can go in and try and locate it. So let me go over in here. Okay, where are you? I'm having a crazy time with the mouse tonight. The thing is there it is. It's all over the place. This reminds me back when I had a 3 individual monitor set up. My thing would go nuts. Let's see what we got. All right, here we go. All right, I'll go through this. This is really not. I don't like this at all. This woman is But this is on the Miami Herald. I'm gonna bring this over just a little bit. Patricia Ripley, the South Florida mother who initially claimed her severely autistic 9-year-old son had been kidnapped, ultimately admitted she was to blame for the child's death at a canal and said he is going to be in a better place. The shocking details of her confession emerged Saturday as Miami-Dade homicide detectives booked Ripley, 47, into jail on a charge of first-degree murder. The arrest came a little more than a day after she reported that Alejandro Ripley had been kidnapped by 2 robbers who ran her car off the road Thursday night. A report that sparked a frantic statewide manhunt and ended early Friday when his body was found in a pond at the Muskogee Golf and Country Club. Now, it goes on in true Casey Anthony fashion, but uh, this is going to turn into one of these cases where Florida is going to be put in a bad light yet again. And this is just another one of these cases of these mothers who are incapable of raising children, have children, and at some point, it is unfortunate that there were not alarms out there where CPS in Florida could have intervened and done something about this. Hi, Levi. But at the same time, if CPS had intervened and taken the child from this mother, then you would probably have her screaming that, like all these other mothers, that CPS unfairly kidnapped a child. So it's a no-win situation for CPS, because now people are going to be screaming bloody murder, wanting to know why this child wasn't removed before this mother killed him. And so now, and it's Florida again, and it's Broward County, so we're going to have the conspiracy theorists going bananas over this one. Because, the conspiracy nuts have this agenda about Broward County. So now we have a case out of Broward County, and they are going to jump all over it. Is Gannon? Okay. But this, I don't know. This, I expected that at some point we were going to have another one of these weird cases that's going to turn this whole thing into a circus again. Because you have the formula there. You got a mother that, for whatever reason, decided to kill the child, then turned around and blamed somebody else for it. Being robbed, being forced off the road. And as the mainstream media picks this up and as the conspiracy nuts come in, this is just going to turn into an absolute mess. So we're going to see what happens in the coming weeks and months when it comes to this new case. And I'll start looking into it as, why'd you delete that, Anon? As we go forward. So, that's that. Yeah, it's Florida, all right. It's just amazing that this stuff keeps. We've had so much weird crap going on in this state, and now we've got another Casey Anthony-ish case coming up. And so it's just incredible. Nice looking kid. I mean, the mother looks like she's a meth head. She's all gaunt and drawn out. And so they're gonna, and it's all over the Florida newspapers. Miami's covering it, Tampa's covering it, we covered it here in Orlando. So so I'll definitely be running down there at the appropriate time to cover this one. So I'll have to see, what's this woman's name again? I'm gonna see. Alright, let me. Patricia Ripley. So she's in Miami-Dade Corrections. She's in the neighboring county, so I guess I have to correct myself on giving Broward County a bad rap. It's Miami-Dade is going to have to put up with this now. Levi, the case I'm talking about is a woman by the name of Patricia Ripley has been charged with the death of her 9-year-old autistic son. And basically, what happened is on Thursday, she called the cops and reported her son missing. She claimed that she was robbed when two robbers forced her off the side of the road. I think she accused them of being black, two black people. And so there was a statewide Amber Alert and search for the child. And then Friday morning, or sometime Friday, she finally admitted that she was the one that killed the child and that he is now in a, quote, better place. So she's been remanded to the Dade County Jail, awaiting arraignment, I suppose. And so we're going forward with this again. So I got to find out when this woman's going to be arraigned and bring up the recording. Because it's saying if she was put in Friday and she has not been appearing yet, she might be arraigned Monday. Just like Phil McConnell was. They broadcast that live, I believe. And so this woman is going to be up in front of the cameras again. And so I'm going to try and figure out a way to stream it. I'm having problems with the software I'm using now getting stuff in here that's live. And so I've got to work the bugs out on that. On my little trip that I'm making Tuesday, I will be using my laptop, and hopefully I can get OBS up and running, because until I can get the hang of it, vMix is not going to do me any good. Because if I bring in videos on here, it comes in as a link, and I'm not able to show the video. I wind up with a link to the video, and I got to figure out why that's going on. And I can do live streaming with the cameras. I just can't live stream live events that are broadcast in video until I get this mess straightened out. I'm having all kinds of problems with the software, so. Gannon Stotch. All right, let's do that right now. Okay, we've got the article I have here is attorneys for stepmother accused of killing Gannon Stotch file motion requesting bond. And El Paso County, huh? Boy, we're just getting into these stupid cases again. El Paso County, Colorado. Oh, good. Well, at least it's not in Florida. Attorneys for Lakeisha Stotch, charged with murdering her stepson, Gannon Stotch, have filed a motion to possibly allow her to bond out of jail. Bad chance of that happening. According to WNBF News partner KKTB, it was one of the two motions filed by Stotch's defense team. The first deals with her preliminary hearing, which is currently scheduled for June 8th, following a June 5th court appearance. Attorneys are asking the preliminary hearing to be pushed back due to Stotch's alleged lack of access to her defense team. The motion claims El Paso County stopped allowing video visitations for Stotch and other inmates with her security designation in early May. So that, and that seems, this was May 20th that this article appeared. I don't know if anything's come any more recent than that, but let's see, we've got, looks like May 20th. the second link 2 days ago. I guess they leaked paperwork from it. I don't know. They must have sealed the case. You know, this is like ABSUG. They're sealing these cases. Okay. Okay, this is the leaked arrest date. Damn it, don't do that. Hate it when I get these. Okay. Okay. Now what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, this sucks. The format that they got on here. This is not going to bode well. Let me see if I can zoom this in. Yeah, there we go. Do it this way. Okay. Okay, this is... With the victim identified as Staunch Gannon, 9/29/2008. That must be his birth date. Male. Your affiant is Jessica Bothable, police officer apparently. So they're going into police. Let me run down through here. Went through details. Historical cellular records and historical call site details were analyzed and redacted. Some but not all of the available photos collected and so on and so forth. The family is blended, so on and so forth. Father, Eugene L. Staunch. Stepmother, Letitia Staunch. Daughter. And they're mentioning the minor's name and age in here, so I'm not too sure about mentioning this young lady's name. But there's a minor that's 17, male minor that's 11, and this is the one that was allegedly murdered. Daughter, 8 years of age. Following vehicles discussed at various points. Red Nissan Frontier. Staunch's main vehicle, the male. Black Volkswagen Tiguan. Letitia's main vehicle. White Volkswagen Jetta. Harley's main vehicle. So what it's doing... Alright, none of my... What name are we looking at? Because he's not allowed in here. I don't know why he's bothering to come in here. He's got his own empire. Alright, I don't... Because we're not discussing that individual anymore, so I don't know why he's even in here. He got what he wanted. I swear, you know, I've only got 4 people in here, and this idiot comes in here. Well, how about it? I'm just going to ignore him. I don't have any administrators in here tonight. Okay, and let's see. We go down here to Letitia Staunch versus Letitia Harden, date of birth 8/4, last person known to investigators to see 11-year-old Gannon alive. And this is typical affidavit material. It's going to take forever to go through this. There's 32 pages in this affidavit. She used to be a teacher that got suspended because she was unprofessional, apparently. She was an assistant teacher. Ooh. So there's experience in the court. The father apparently is still married. He was deployed in the National Guard. Wow, this is a lot of reading. Okay, on January 27, 2020, on or about 1855 hours, Letitia, or however you pronounce that, Staunch reported Gannon missing after calling 911. Yeah, I'm going to go through this because it's like I said, I'm going to be discussing these cases and wherever possible when the trials finally come up. Because, yeah, there's a lot of detail. I got to go in and do some outlining on this. And this sounds like something Levi might want to check into as well. Because he's pretty thorough at these sort of things. Because I'm trying to concentrate on situations in Florida, although this is another one of these unusual cases where the guardian of a child, whether it be a biological or a step guardian, is responsible for the death of the child. And it's sad. Yeah, this is, this is a repeat of Casey Anthony. I mean, Casey Anthony is, running around saying that, the nanny had Kaylee over in Puerto Rico or something, and it's sitting in one of these, an Amscott parking lot. And then it winds up sitting in a salvage yard, waiting to be towed away. And it's just a bizarre history with that car. And so here we are again, with a woman stashing the body of a child in a car for some period of time, and then eventually, the child gets found. This is the same thing over again. And then we have whatever happened to Haley Cummings because of an irresponsible step-parent. Exactly what happened in this Colorado case is likely what happened in the Haley Cummings case. The stepmother, step guardian, or whatever the hell she was, something happened under her care. The child is dead. And in the case of Haley, we have no idea what happened to the child. And I don't know what it is with these people that get involved with children. It's kind of better off that CPS takes these children, because these step-parents and the mothers are going to kill them. Now, there should have been some indication that there was trouble in that household and that child be taken away from these people. So it's just, it's irritating. And then you got these conspiracy theorists that come along and, puts the CPS in a no-win situation because they take the kid out of the household. They get yelled at for taking them out. Now that this kid's been killed in these two states, I can guarantee you somebody's going to come out and they're going to start complaining that CPS should have known what was going on. So it's going to be interesting to see how these cases unfold. And I would be concerned that with this corona situation with all these people being stuck indoors because of this thing, the tensions are going to rise, and you're going to have more kids get into situations that are out of their control, and some may wind up dead. Because it's tense times. You got people running around screaming bloody murder about having to wear masks or not being able to go to the beach, and there's going to be kids running around being kids and probably acting up, and tempers are going to flare, and the next thing you know, you're going to have a dead child. So it's just one of these things that is going to be collateral damage in all the events that are going on this year. This is going to be a terrible year for children. Well, I know they don't sell kids. I mean, this is where the conspiracy nuts just goes to town. Do they need to be reformed? Yes, there probably is a lot going on in CPS that needs to be straightened out. But the conspiracy theorist in Minnesota is not helping matters. He's making things a hell of a lot worse because he's acting as a diversion. Taking attention away from where it belongs. And that's unfortunate. And Phil McConnell is the same way, and yet the last I checked, the guy's got $15,000 in his legal defense fund. Not that it may going to do him any good. I mean, the lawyer's going to make money on it. That is if the lawyer sees a dime of the money. Because I don't see where the proper paperwork's been done in regards to these defense funds. There's federal things you have to do and state things you have to do when setting up this kind of a fund on behalf of someone else. And I don't know if these steps have been taken. I haven't delved into it yet. I will be. Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember Gabriel. Yeah, it's all these cases are sad. These children, they don't ask for any of this. They don't get to live the full potential of their lives. Their lives are cut short because of the irresponsibility of those around them. And it's really sad. And I just find it irritating that, people like the conspiracy nut could be covering the true causes of these things rather than coming up with these boneheaded theories, but you can't knock any sense into these people. They're going to go down this weird path, and that's just the way it is, apparently. Well, I don't know what they're going to do in Colorado with this. It is a child that's been murdered, but, it's just one of these things we're going to have to see. I would think she's going to get life. Because it's premeditated murder. You got aggravating circumstances because it's a child. Depends on how he was killed, if there was any torture. There's any number of factors that are going to get out here when this thing finally goes to trial. So we'll just have to see. And after Casey Anthony, I don't trust that there would be a logical outcome on this case. And, Casey Anthony just changed the course of this kind of a situation. She basically, allegedly, got away with the death of her child. Because there's no explanation as to what happened to that child to this day. All we know is Kaylee Anthony was dead. She was found in a swampy area less than a quarter of a mile from the house. And there was for whatever reason, Orange County did not connect the death of Kaylee Anthony to and so she's free and clear. Yeah, that has to, when something like that happens in a family, I mean, that's going to leave permanent scars on everybody in the family and support group of that child and all the children, siblings, and so forth. So it's going to be a lifetime scar that these people are going to have to live with. Yeah, I can understand that. I can imagine the kind of child abuse that's going on right now during this lockdown. For some reason, I don't know what it is with Chrome. Trying to do something. Oh, none of these are opening on now. There we go. I'm having problems with the computer again. And I'm probably not. Yep, that's not where I want to be. So I'm. Yeah, I imagine that I'm going to have to read the affidavit. But yeah, I can imagine the forensic team found all kinds of evidence, and it probably is what led them towards the stepmother to begin with. And they just said, hey, it's pretty clear what's going on here. But again, I'm going to have to, get caught up on these cases to find out, what the circumstances are and all that. And that will be a future topic of discussion as we go forward in our new direction. Certainly going to be happy to get away from this political crap, which these conspiracy theorists. There's a lot of politics involved with these people, and I just want to get away from that. Yeah, Greenleaf, that's the story anyway. That was the accident thing that Jose brought out in the trial, that she got up on the ladder, fell in the pool, and drowned. And Casey panicked, and that's how all this convoluted crap started. But, until somebody goes under oath and gets into verifiable details, that's just a theory. And she's acquitted, so there's no double jeopardy. She can't be retried. So, we'll probably never know the true answer as to what happened to Kelly. It's just, because everybody in that family buttoned up. And it's just when that verdict came down, it just created one hell of an uproar. And, here we are all these years later, and nothing has happened. Casey is living the life of luxury down in Southeast Florida. Kelly is in a locket somewhere, and life goes on. I think she tried to sell her story, but it fell flat because early on, the boycott advocates made it so she wasn't that marketable. I don't know. And now, so far long past the time that the crime happened, I don't know if she's even marketable. Well, the thing of it is the car reeked of chloroform. You know, if you've ever smelled chloroform, it's very distinctive. It's almost a sweet smell, and it was just all over the place. You know, if you got within 200-300 feet of that car, you could smell it. So it was, you know, it was clear she was in the car. You know, that somebody drowns in a pool, they're not going to have that amount of chloroform on them when they get thrown in the back of a car. So, you know, it's just an excuse that was used to plant reasonable doubt in the minds of the jury. And Orange County did a sloppy job of forensics, and they could not connect Kelly to a cause of death. And end of story. The jury acquitted her. And they acquitted her of everything. I mean, it just... She got hit with time served over the FBI issue, and that was the end of it. Yeah, that's correct, Alex. And they found that people had been researching chloroform on the computer in the household. And I believe the grandmother said that she was doing research as her position as a nurse for whatever reason. I mean, a lot of craziness came out. Yeah, you don't put duct tape over a child that's drowned. I mean, the whole thing is sheer nonsense. You know, and it was just, with all the dumb stuff that went on, they should have been able to find something to hang on her, and they didn't. And she got to go scot-free. So, you know, I've got 2,000 pages of court documents on that case, filling a banker's box, and DVDs and everything. And the evidence that was in there, she should have been convicted. But for whatever reason, the jury got convinced, reasonable doubt came up, and away she went. But, you know, when I read the jury interviews as to why they acquitted Casey, it made some sense. Because the prosecution could not establish a cause of death. The medical examiner even said that she could not establish a cause of death. And that is what convinced the jury to acquit. Cough alert. Oh, it's been 11 years. Because this is 2020. That happened. Well, actually, it's getting into 12 years. But, you know, the case 2008, 2009 is when that case started up. And July of 2009 is when the verdict came down. So here we are 11 years later, and two more of these things have come up. And there's all the cases that have come up in the meantime. Yeah, it's just, you know, the jury decided what they decided. You know, you can't, you know, it's not a perfect system we have here. I mean, some innocent people are going to be convicted. Some guilty people are going to go free. And it's just, you know, there's things that have to be done. But in the end, the system is weighed towards the accused as far as the bulk of the rights. The state has to prove their case. The defense does not. And because of that, mistakes like Casey Anthony happen. Yeah, I agree, Alex. I mean, it wasn't a perfect situation. But it happened. She was acquitted. And people can be mad, they can boycott, they can do all kinds of stuff, but in the end, there's not really a hell of a lot that could be done. Because unless something unusual is found, to where maybe they could do a civil rights violation, and it's over and done with. Yeah, Greenleaf, there were a lot of people that said that she would not get convicted, and I had a hard time believing that, but it turned out to be right. Um, and they talked to me on my live stream about it. They said, we knew months before this trial came to a conclusion that she was going to get acquitted. There were people that believed she was innocent. There were people that didn't believe there was enough proof. And in the end, those that were favoring acquittal as a conclusion were right. And it sure surprised the hell out of me. He's representing your doctor, serial killer. Who is that, Alex? Because I hadn't been paying attention to what Jose's been up to. I thought he was still there. Is this someone down out of Miami? Because that's where he's at right now. Or was. Well, it's just that, you never know what a jury is going to do. And you never know what's going to happen. Now, I just got through watching an interesting series on Netflix. It's called Trial by the Media. And it looked at a number of different cases. And what's interesting about those cases is just about every case in there was a miscarriage of justice in one form or another. And they didn't. I thought maybe they'd cover the Casey Anthony case, but they did not. They covered older cases, but like they covered the subway murder, the subway vigilante. That guy got off scot-free. There were some pretty bad cases there that these people either got acquitted or guilty innocent people got the shaft and things like that. It was an amazing series to watch as to how the press screwed things up. Because the series was pointing to the press as being the problem. That there were people that used the press to their advantage. There were people that the press made things a hell of a lot worse for them. It was just an absolute mess that happened because of the press being involved one way or another. The most fascinating one was the reality show case. This guy went on one of these shows. It was the woman, I can't remember her name. And he was told ahead of time that there's someone that is a secret admirer of his, and that the secret admirer would be exposed on the show. And it turned out that it was someone that he considered a friend, and the guy was gay, and he had a crush on the guy. And one thing led to another, and the person went over to the mobile home and he killed the guy. And there were lawsuits where they tried to blame the show for what happened and all kinds of stuff. And in the end, it was just one of these things where the show didn't take responsibility for their actions, and that was how that happened. Yeah, Levi, there is a movie coming out, or has come out, about Richard Jewell. That was an absolute atrocity what happened there. Now they did cover on Netflix. They did cover it in the other series that they had about the mind. You know, these guys that were FBI agents developing the behavior sciences, and they interviewed different serial killers. And there was also the series where, and in that series, they solved the case of where they found the guy that actually did the killing. You know, they basically ambushed him at the bridge right after he dumped the body. You know, and it's just, you know, I remember the that particular case. That guy had killed, like, I don't know how many kids, but you know, but the Atlanta bombings, that's a separate thing. I got my cases mixed up because both of these things happened in Atlanta. But yeah, Richard Jewell really got a bum rap on that one. It destroyed his life. Mark Carmel Hospital. Why have I heard of that hospital? Mindhunter is the show I'm talking about. That is an absolutely thing. I did a binge watch on that. And, you know, it really got into not only the criminals they investigated and the guy that was the one serial killer that they went to a lot. The actor that played that was absolutely perfect. He scares, you know, he had my attention. So that guy did a hell of a good job. But it, you know, basically it's a true story, and in the end, the detectives, the one guy, his life was destroyed because he was obsessed with the job, and it just made it, you know. But you know, that was the beginning of the behavior sciences division of the FBI. It was a very, very well done show. You know, Netflix is getting some good stuff. You know, one thing I was glad is they got Roll Red Roll on there, because I learned things about Alex that I didn't know. And it just, that movie got to me. I mean, it's, you know, the very end of the movie is probably the most important in the whole thing. You know, so Alex has got a lot to be proud of with that. What do we got here? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That must, for whatever reason, I've heard of Mark Carmel. I don't know if there's more than one of them in the country or what the deal is with that. Wow. I feel sorry for that kid. Jesus. Well, I hope they get the Peabody. That was an outstanding movie. It was far better than I thought it was going to be. You know, those people, they did a hell of a good job with it. You know, it. Oh. Google Chrome is not going to be my friend tonight. See what's going to happen here. Nope, it's not bringing up. I'll be damned. That sucker unblocked me. Okay, well, that's fine. That'll save me having to use that stupid software. Or no, this is his old account. Huh, he forgot he left that one up. Alright, let's see what happens here. Yep, I'm still blocked on that channel. Interesting. Alright, who the hell is Greenleaf? Yeah. Well, Greenleaf, I didn't realize that you were being accused of being the conspiracy nut. And you've probably left by now, so accept my apology. We have an individual that comes in here under all these different names, so. But, you know. Yeah, I really wish that we wouldn't assume that new people coming in here are the conspiracy theorists until there's an indication that he actually is in here. Because it's not fair to newcomers to prejudge him like that. You know, I don't know if Greenleaf said something that might have led you guys to believe that he was in here, but too late now. I don't know why. Well, well, it's a case in Colorado, and I don't know which one it was. I wasn't really paying that close attention unless it's that one that Nan brought up. Because I wasn't paying real close attention to the chat, so I didn't know what happened to get that person all upset. I think part of the problem is we have been so polluted with people coming in here as trolls and screwing things up on this channel that people just immediately have their hair go up when they try and figure out who is who. You know. Yeah, I know. I've got to read that arrest warrant. That's another one of these long. Yeah, I remember the old days all too well and some of the things that happened back then, you know, and I'm trying to avoid the same thing happening again. So, yeah, I think that touched a nerve because nobody wants to be affiliated with TH or be accused of being TH. So that's probably why she got so upset. Do. Yeah. Okay, nothing going on anyway, so. No, you can't please everyone. I know I try, and I sometimes make things worse by trying. Well, that ain't going to be doing me any good. I gotta plug that in. Yeah, I probably should pay a little bit more attention to the chat, and I get sidetracked when I'm, looking around at different things. Well, I'm glad she wasn't Tim, and if you can contact her, tell her I apologize for whatever caused her to run off. But that said, everybody gets paranoid because Tim has been coming in here under false pretenses, and it's just trying to figure out who has created problems. And so usually I just let the person run, and if it turns out that there's abuse in there, then me or one of the moderators can kick them out. Because usually you can tell, because when things start being put over on his social media accounts, and that's a good sign that he's up to his old tricks again. Right. Well, what the hell is going on with Google Chrome? So, well. Well, unlike him, I don't block people unless they're abusive to the chat. So, he blocked me on Facebook because one of his followers made a threat of violence against me. I thought that was kind of weird. But, he refuses to let me on his Facebook channel. And so, Nothing I can do about that. But it's like I said, you know, I'm not going to discuss him by name unless something really important comes up, because he's, you know, he's not justified in having attention paid to him. You know, so he can put up all the wacky videos and all the cartoons he wants, because it doesn't matter anymore. That stuff's been around for a decade. And he's using stuff generated by a child pornographer. And so if he wants to support a child pornographer on his Facebook, there's nothing I can do about it. It says a lot about him. Who is this? Well, thank you. You're not going to be here very long. Well, that takes care of that problem. Yeah, you think with... well, it was. Yeah, I just wonder why the little coward won't unblock me from his Facebook. You know, what's he scared of? Yeah, well, he's not around anymore. Yeah, he started getting abusive in the chat, and that's all it took. You know, he can go put up more cartoons and, you know, more counterfeit chats like he always does. Make false accusations. And that's all he's capable of. Yeah, pathetic little kid, man. He just can't. He cannot do his own thing. He's already admitted that he's the high command. He did that in rather bold terms. So he's not fooling anybody. But he looks like alfalfa on steroids. Yeah, Dodger. I love watching Dodger. Does a hell of a good job. Hey, Gray, welcome. How's your holiday been so far? Figure out what the... Come on, John. What the hell's going on with that program? Hey, just me. Welcome. I wonder why that number's stuck. I don't know. Do, 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 do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I lost a couple. Oh well. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Yeah, definitely. That what amazes me is that fund and that legal defense fund is taking off like a rocket. If those figures are correct. Jeez, someone's gonna have a lot of beer money. Oh, I can figure. Still on old stuff. Man. Yeah, 5 days, man. It hasn't been doing crap. Oh well. Yeah, there seems to be a thing about goats lately. I'm always seeing goats are funny. Beware of anonymous videos. Jeez, that is so old. was. Hmm. Where? Oh, there it is. Nope. Okay, according to my source, he has not been on his Facebook for the last 6 hours. So. Yeah, I see a pattern developing. All these people that are in these cases are going to have social media fans and followers. It's like, can't remember what they called a group that were fans of Ron Cummings. There was a name they had for him. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, because he put that video up, and of course he he shut off the comments on Facebook, and that's the end of him. I half expected to see the cartoons back on there. He's had them up for 24 hours, and he didn't recycle anything. But give him time. The Ronettes, that's what it was. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, Ron Cummings had the Ronettes. Just the strange things that happen on social media. Yeah, it's gotten ridiculous anymore online. I mean, I thought things were bad back in the day on my streams. These people, Jesus, the things they do now, it's unbelievable. And I think they do it just to get attention. I don't think they really care about anything. They just get on there and say, "Well, we're going to be as outrageous as we can get, so that we get the hits and clickbait and all that." And there we are. So, but it's not only on Facebook. It's on Twitter. It's on YouTube, and everywhere you look, there's some really crazy people out there. Yeah, it's gotten bad, Alex. It's just Levi seems to be able to make a go of it without too many problems, but it's really, some of the stuff I see on these sites is just an absolute nonsense. what I'm going to do is in about another 4 or 5 minutes, I'm going to close things down. Because I got a couple things I need to do before tomorrow. As I get closer to the 27th, I've got a lot of things that I got to get in place. Now, I have not decided if I'm going to do a Murtathon tomorrow night. I may do a recorded video instead to give an outline as to what I'm going to be doing all through the week. But again, from the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th, it's going to be a scheduled on location remote event. I will live stream as much as I can throughout everything. Portions of it will be recorded depending on how the internet is at that time. I'm not going to make my 1,000 subscriber numbers in time to do live stream in a remote location mobily, but I can do it wherever I can get access to Wi-Fi. And so that's what we're going to be doing. If I can get subscribers and can keep it consistent over 1,000 in the space of 2 days, which would be a miracle, then we'll be able to do what I want to do. Otherwise, I'll be broadcasting from a fixed location for a while where I have Wi-Fi access. When I'm mobile, I will live stream to my Twitter account and possibly Facebook, because I have ways where I can simulcast to both accounts. So we're going to see how that works. But Monday, either live or recorded, I will get into what specifically is going on for the rest of the week with this situation. And tomorrow I'll probably do a test once again on Twitter. I'm trying to iron a problem out. I need to be able to feed my GoPro through my mobile home or through my smartphone and live tweet it out. And so we'll see how that works. So because I have a feeling a lot of people are out doing the holiday thing, and that's, we had a more or less intimate group tonight. We actually, the chat flow's been going along pretty good, but and the recording will be here for people to watch, so that'll do some good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it down. I'm going to wish everybody a good remaining Memorial Day weekend. Take time out to remember what the truth of this was. I'm pretty sure Alex knows, and anybody that has a military family knows that Memorial Day is a remembrance more than it is about barbecues and walking on the beach. So, bear that in mind and take time out to have your thoughts to those that gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And so, with that, this is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one. Good night, everybody.